Hey there and welcome. Today we're going to be tackling simple inequalities. And I've got some fantastic news for you. If you can solve a basic equation, you already have pretty much all the skills you need. So let's start with a really simple idea.
Okay, let's do a quick thought experiment. Imagine you have less money in your pocket than your friend does. As you're walking, you both look down and, hey, you each find a $10 bill on the ground. After you both pick it up, who has more money?
Well, it's still your friend, right? Of course. You both got richer by the exact same amount, so the gap between you is the same. The basic relationship, the inequality, didn't change at all. And believe it or not, that simple idea is the key to this entire lesson.
That brings us to our first big concept, which I like to call the golden rule. I want you to think of an inequality like a balanced scale. Our number one job is to do things that keep it from tipping one way or the other.
So here's the rule itself. You can add or subtract any number you want from an inequality just as long as you do the exact same thing to both sides. And here's the most important part. The symbol in the middle, whether it's less than or greater than, it stays exactly the same. It doesn't move, it doesn't flip, nothing.
Let's see this with some actual numbers. We all know for a fact that 10 is less than 20. That's a true statement. So what happens if we add 5 to both sides? Well, we get 15 is less than 25. Still true, right? The scale is still perfectly balanced.
And this leads us to the best news of all. If you've ever solved an equation like x plus 5 equals 12, then you, my friend, already know how to solve x plus 5 is less than 12. The steps are 100% identical. You're just carrying around a different symbol.
So, with that in mind, let's roll up our sleeves and put this rule to work. We're going to walk through a few examples together, step by step.
All right, here's our first one. X minus 8 is greater than 10. Now the goal is always to get x all by itself. So how do we get rid of that minus 8? We do the opposite. We add 8. And because of our golden rule, we have to do it to both sides. That gets rid of the 8 on the left, and on the right, 10 plus 8 is 18. So our final answer is x is greater than 18. Simple as that.
Let's try another one. This time we have y plus 14 is less than or equal to 5. To get y alone, we need to undo that plus 14. So we'll subtract 14 from both sides. On the right, 5 minus 14 gives us negative 9. And notice the less than or equal to symbol? It just came right along for the ride, completely unchanged. So our answer is y is less than or equal to negative 9.
Okay, don't let this next one throw you for a loop just because the variable's on the right side. The process, the rules, they're all exactly the same. We've got negative 4 is less than x minus 2. To get x by itself, we just add 2 to both sides. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2, which gives us our result. Negative 2 is less than x.
And this brings up a really great pro tip. While negative 2 is less than x is totally correct, it can feel a little awkward to read. Our brains just seem to prefer reading from the variable first. So we can just flip the entire statement around. If negative 2 is less than x, that logically means that x has to be greater than negative 2. It's the same answer, just a whole lot easier to understand at a glance.
Okay, so we've seen how to do it the right way. Now let's talk about the single biggest, most common mistake people make. This is the one pitfall you really need to watch out for. We'll call it the subtraction trap.
For some reason, and I see this all the time, when people subtract from both sides of an inequality, they get this urge to flip the symbol. But turning x plus 5 is less than 10 into x is greater than 5 is a classic mistake. You have to remember the golden rule. Adding or subtracting never changes the direction of the symbol. Let's just burn this into our memory right now. Say it with me. Subtraction never flips the symbol. Now, there is a time and a place for flipping the symbol in inequalities, but that's a whole other story involving multiplication and division with negative numbers. For today, with addition and subtraction, this rule is absolute.
All right, let's bring this all back to the real world. You might be sitting there thinking, okay, but when am I ever actually going to use this? Well, I bet you already do, especially when it comes to money. Let's look at a super practical application.
Here's the scenario we've all been in. You've set a strict $50 max budget for a day out. You can't spend more than that. You go out and get a pretty good lunch, and it costs you 20 bucks. The question is, how much money do you have left to spend on dinner?
We can set this up perfectly with an inequality. Let's call the cost of dinner x. We know that dinner, x, plus the 20 bucks we spent on lunch has to be less than or equal to our total budget of $50. To solve for x, we just do what we've been doing. Subtract 20 from both sides. And bam, there's our answer. X has to be less than or equal to 30.
So, what does that little piece of math actually mean for our evening plans? It means you can spend anything up to and including $30 on dinner, and you'll stay within your budget. You could spend exactly $30, you could spend $10, or you could spend nothing. Any of those choices works. See? Simple, practical, and actually pretty useful.
And that pretty much wraps it up. I'll just leave you with this one last question to really lock in the most critical takeaway from today. When you're solving an inequality using only addition or subtraction, what is the one thing you should never, ever, ever do? Think about it. Thanks for tuning in.